But it's now time to focus on the teachers union, and there have been ongoing wrangles in the past couple of weeks. And this morning I'm joined by Mudzo Nzili, who's the acting Secretary General, Kenya National Union of Teachers. Thank you for making time for us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
So we'll just start right with whether you want to become the Secretary General KNUT. Confirmation of that first.
It's not a matter of whether I want to become. I am the acting Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers.
Acting being the key word. We're talking about confirmation when the elections
Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Teachers.
And that is not in dispute.
That is not in dispute.
So when it comes to the elections, are you seeking, would you want the delegates to elect you?
With God's grace. That is my prayer.
So why do you want to be confirmed as Secretary General?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I have been a member of the National Executive Council since 1994.
Okay.
And a member of the National Executive Council since 1994. I have dealt with teachers' issues under vibrant Secretary Generals like Ambrose Adea Dongo, Francis Mwiruri Nganga, Majali, you know them. And having been a member of Terms and Conditions of Service, participated in the discussions and the preparations of memorandums towards improvement of the teachers' terms and conditions of service.
So why do you want to be confirmed? What would
I
you
want
do
to be
different?
confirmed because I feel I have what it takes to steer the Kenya National Union of Teachers to greater heights.
Okay.
Yes.
But what has been ongoing? We Kenyans, the public, has been treated to quite some divisions and proclamations from different camps.
Yes.
Some in support of you for that position, and some in support of Sosion. And I just want at this juncture to tell our viewers we did extend an invitation to the chairman, Kenya National Union of Teachers, to be part of this interview, and he declined. And so we'll continue with it as is. But why is this wrangling? What's the problem?
Democracy has its own challenges. And the Kenya National Union of Teachers as a trade union for this time is experiencing what has been unusual.
Right.
Because normally we have our administrative structures, and for the viewers to know, Kenya National Union of Teachers in Kenya as a trade union has been a model trade union because of its structures and administrative structures. We have for quite a long time been relying upon each other and one another. This I mean, we have been existing and relying upon on the principle of solidarity. Our structures were such that from the former provinces, now regions, the members of the steering committee demonstrated a representation of the regions like Nyanza, Eastern, Western, Central, Coast, Rift Valley, and Nairobi, and the rest of the regions as you know them. The members of the steering committee, when they sit and the regions are represented, it was an effective way of making sure that in the event of a decision reached at the steering committee level, the National Executive Council members, who are also constituted as per regional representation, will also take that resolution with a lot of ease. And therefore, our coordination and effectiveness have relied on that homogeneous cohesion of the regions and coexistence of these regions as it has been. So all along we have been we have benefited from regional representation. Adongo came from some place, Katumanga came from some place, and every non-national official came from some place. So that is what has the history of Kenya National Union of Teachers was such that those are the building blocks.
But now we are seeing what you're terming and calling the building blocks being divided along tribal lines, along regional lines. They're the same ones. The foundation you're citing is the same foundation now that is splitting the union.
The general membership is surprised. The teachers of Kenya today are unhappy with what is going on. We are ourselves, as an individual, I'm also unhappy because this has never happened. But you cannot stop somebody from aspiring to become. The situation as it is, and it is most surprising because, disappointing because it is coming from a person who should have been the pioneer, rather, the leader of the delegation in Kenya National Union of Teachers, the national chairman. And we expect every discipline as per the constitution to originate from him.
All right,
and now that it has come from him, every member of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, the general membership and the leadership are also surprised, because it is like a father who decides to behave otherwise.
All right, so you're saying he should not be contesting he should not even desire to be the Secretary General?
Definitely, because the foundation blocks of this union, depends on each other and the regions. And you know, our dealings...
Break it down for somebody who's watching. You're talking about the foundation blocks and what has always happened, but put it in layman's language. Why can Sosion, or why do those that, like yourself, that have issues with the chairman getting into the Secretary General position? What is the problem? What's the issue exactly?
The issue
in black and white.
The issue is interest.
Okay.
Interest to become. And I want to be very plain here and very simple.
Okay.
You know, people are surprised because our salaries, the salary of the national chairman, the salary of the Secretary General, and the salary of the national treasurer are all equal and the same. So for the national chairman to want to leave his seat, the office of the national chairman, to come to the office of the Secretary General, that is the surprise of everybody, because he is not coming to add an extra penny.
But isn't it his right to want to move?
So that's why we are saying it has never happened, but it is happening.
Okay.
And that's why I have said democracy has its own challenges.
Okay.
If you wish to become what you want to become, it is only within yourself. The motivation is within you. So the motivation is within him. That's why we are saying currently everybody is surprised because the teachers are not happy with what we are doing. As far as I'm concerned, I'm acting Secretary General. I would have wished that my brother, the national chairman, who I love and support, remains where he is, so that together we concentrate on dealing with the teachers' issues. Our operations are consultative. Even when we are going to the bargaining, we achieve through collective effort. That's why we say we achieve through collective bargaining. That's why in a collective bargaining situation, the members of the team assist one another in hammering a point. So if I am to go to the national chairman, the national treasurer, and two other members who constitute members of the consultative team, that strength is what benefits the teachers.
All right, so all you're saying is that the only issue you have with Mr. Sosion is that he wants to move from chairman to Secretary General.
Definitely.
And yet you earn the same money. That's the only problem.
Definitely.
And that's what you want Kenyans to believe this
Yes.
Okay. So why wouldn't you want, perhaps in a different scenario, wouldn't you then take up the position or garner support, campaign to get the chairman position? Why is this Secretary General position so lucrative for everybody?
That will amount into my interfering with their system. The chairmen are three. There's the national chairman, the first vice national chairman, and the second vice national chairman. That is the office of the national chairman. In the event of the national chairman leaving, even if he goes to the toilet, the first vice chairman assumes the position of national chairman. So if the national chairman decides to shift to come to the Secretary General, and I go to the position of national chairman, there will be a clash between me and his first vice. Who, in the event of him moving out, even if he goes to the toilet, he assumes the seat. And on our roll, on our line also, we are three. There is the Secretary General, the Deputy Secretary General, and the Assistant Secretary General. Okay. Let me read you something that Vihiga County KNUT Executive Secretary Dickson Kisivuli said about this particular wrangle. And he said, teachers in the county, quote, want the officials to switch positions, that is yourself and Sosion, so that he takes up the Secretary General position. They feel the chairman has done a lot more for their welfare and he's more charismatic to become the union's spokesman.
What do you have to say about that?
That is his opinion, but there are opinions from other places that have not reached you.
But what do you have to say about this opinion, that he's more charismatic, people have seen him for a longer time, and that he's done more for the union?
Having been, nobody as an individual has done more for the union. I have said, the achievements of the union is through collective effort.
All right.
That's why I'm saying, even what we achieve through a collective bargaining process. Internationally, that is known. All trade unions achieve through that process. So, having been, when you are an assistant secretary general or deputy, you are behind the scenes. And since my bosses were there, I was not exposed. When Okuta was there, I was the assistant secretary general. There is no way I could have gone ahead of him to say anything. And when my brother Sophia Wanuna was there, the discipline requires that the person ahead makes statements. So I was in the background because the situation in the Kenya National Union of Teachers requires that you maintain that type of discipline for coexistence,
respect,
and coordination.
So you feel you're as good as he is?
Maybe I may be better because he has been there longer. I was there for 1 month, and the impact created is known. And even you had me within 1 month, I made that impact. So it simply means having been silent and on the background does not suggest weakness. Or otherwise.
Let's talk about the system and the manner in which you vote. The delegates come together for the voting, because that is what has in essence brought about all this also conversations around the country. We're seeing different regions, and as we were talking about earlier, bringing about divisions along tribal lines and along regions. So is it correct that the KNUT, as traditionally has voted, or how it's practiced the election, is that the secretary general position goes to Coast, Nyanza or Nairobi, while the chairman position is reserved for Western, Central and Rift Valley? Is that the case?
That has been the arrangement.
The arrangement or in law? How did that come to be?
No, it is not in law.
Okay, it has been an arrangement.
It has been an arrangement of convenience, and I want to explain a bit. When the first vibrant Secretary General Ambrose Adair Dongo, following the exit of the then national chairman David Mulindi, he found it fit to get a national chairman from Western. They brought national chairman the late John Katumanga. When Adongo left, because following his death, the Nyanza people, the Luo Nyanza, brought in Okuta. When Nganga left, the Nairobi colleagues brought in Sophia Wanuna. When Majali left from Coast, the Coast people brought Muzonzili. And when on the line of treasurers, when Mboga left, the Kisii Nyanza people brought in Fred Ontere.
And this has been put in place because? Yes,
this has been put in place as put by my national chairman on gentleman's agreement. That has been the structure, the culture, the structure that has held the union together. That's why you see the union has been strong and it has been growing in strength.
But now that strength you're talking about is being threatened by what has been working, which is now dividing people along those same regions that, yes, in the past have fielded these secretary generals, but now it's at risk. The union is now painted in very bad light, and there are divisions in the union. So is it working, or should this electoral or gentleman's agreement, as you call it, cease to exist and perhaps take it back to one vote for each delegate?
No, whatever, I have said democracy has its own challenges.
But is this democracy really?
And the Kenya National Union of Teachers is a dynamic organization. As the situation stands now, interests even in the same household, like you may remember, in one of these places, brothers contested against each other in the post of either governor or senator somewhere in Kenya. And so when it comes, probably those people who led us had in a way, could contain their interests. But this time, people have grown to say, let us undo what was done. And that is where we are. And the teachers of Kenya will now make a decision how their union will want to be run and who they want to run their union.
But Bonanzili, my question back to what I've just asked.
Yes.
In terms of this process and how it's working,
yes.
The regions, and they're the ones, there are certain regions that field candidates for that Secretary General position. Is that not undoing the same thing you're trying to build? That is union, a strong, united teachers union, because now they're divided along those same regions that have worked in the past to bring leadership. Do you think perhaps there need to be a reconsideration, because it's not in law, as you said, it's a gentleman's agreement,
yes.
One that now is not working? Or do you think it's working?
I'm saying there is still time. There is still time for my brother to consider his ambition.
Okay.
Because
but even
this,
if he
this one union, this union is greater. You know, one time Saitoti said,
right,
it comes a time when the country is more important than a person's interest. This is a person's interest. And you know, it is driven by the fact that in the previous elections, there was something that came, tyrant of numbers. So, because probably Rift Valley sees itself, or my brother sees Rift Valley with more delegates as the situation stands, he sees the tyrant of numbers may dictate the outcomes. But what surprises me and surprises everybody is that there will be no addition of even a single shilling. 1. 2, performance of duty. The national chairman has already been very effective from where he has been operating from. He has been a national chairman and is still a national chairman. And as far as the roles are concerned, he's the leader of the delegation. So what surprises me is that probably because I'm coming I'm perceived to be coming from a region with fewer delegates, that is where people want to capitalize on and push me out. I think that is the only reason. There is no other reason. But as far as the division anticipated is concerned, I think at the end of the elections, teachers will still come together. I don't profess that this is bringing division. It is only bringing a challenge.
A challenge that, finally, on that particular note, I'll ask, do you think teachers should vote directly, the delegates should vote directly for whoever takes up these positions, and it ceases to be an electoral issue, an issue of regions, and who, as you're talking about the tyranny of numbers, why can it be just one direct vote from one delegate to whoever their choice candidate is? What about that proposal?
Actually, the Constitution provides secret voting. And in the absence, you know, and we have been conducting our elections through secret ballot voting.
Yes.
So we are not denying, but even at regions where you see the constitution of a branch executive committee, they must agree. Chairman will come from east, this will come from west, this treasurer will come from this side, and they combine even those zones with the smallest number of teachers, the least number of teachers, they agree and they constitute a steering committee or a committee of the branch executive committee. At the national level, that has been the trend. But the Constitution has also provided for secret ballot. So in the event that the gentleman's agreement does not work, then the delegates have a right to cast their votes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will ask you this because teachers are concerned about the weakening of the union because of this. Because right now your attention seemingly is all on this, his attention, and the weakening of the union has come front and center, and we've seen several teachers write articles about the same. Are you concerned about the weakening of the union?
I'm definitely concerned because at the end of this, whatever the result, the outcome, the union will have been will have suffered a bit. But the person who is going to suffer most probably is the teacher who has been depending on this union. And secondly, those people, you know, we have rivals outside our building. Outside, we are a number of rivals. Nobody likes a strong union like Kenya National Union of Teachers. So probably those people will also gain advantage over our challenges. So we are saying, we are seeing a situation, I'm seeing a situation where actually it's not good for the future of this union, because even probably come 2016, if this gentleman's agreement is pushed aside, then at the branches there will be a lot of chaos. Up here there will be, that arrangement will not be there, and so the bigger blocks, those with bigger delegations may turn out to take all the administrative positions. Hence, the cohesiveness that has existed over time will not be there.
But what are you doing about it? You say you recognize the fact that there is a challenge in terms of weakening the union, but you're part of this. What are you, in your capacity as the current acting Secretary General, doing to ensure the union is not weakened, to avert these fears by the teachers?
I have been talking to my brother that he remains on his lane, and he supports me to even take me round to say, this is the Secretary General you should endorse. That is the only thing that can bring peace, because whichever way...
But that is still in your favor and in
yes,
your
because I am already there.
Okay.
If Sophia, anybody comes to attack you here now, while you are working, what will you do? And if that door is closed, you will continue pleading with him. If an Al-Shabaab comes here and he wants to shoot all of us, we shall say, please, please go save us. You will pray and pray and pray, because you don't want to be So we are saying, I am saying, I'm already there, and I would have wished that my brother leaves me there, and I would appeal to the delegates who are friendly to my brother also to tell him, hey, leave that gentleman there. After all, I performed very well during the strike, didn't I? Majority of you know that I performed within the shortest time possible.
That is up for discussion.
My scorecard cannot be compared with a person who has been there for 4 years and I have been there for just a month or so. So I have displayed my potentials to be able to be entrusted with this big organization.
Again,
and I feel I have what it takes
yes.
for me to take the people.
So you're saying what you're doing to ensure the union remains united, the teachers remain united, is to talk to Sosion,
yes,
to step aside for you. Really?
Not stepping aside.
Or rather
he's
to
not stepping aside. No,
to endorse you.
To remain where he is as a vibrant, competent, trusted national chairman.
Okay.
And leave me where I am as a vibrant, trusted, aggressive Secretary General.
And I just want again to remind our viewers, in case you're just joining us at this point, that we did extend an invitation to Wilson Sosion, who's the chairman of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, and he declined to be part of this discussion. And so we're still just trying to unpackage and understand what the issues are in the union and what can be done going forward. Of course, you judge for yourself as you watch. But also you've mentioned something about rival unions and that they stand to benefit. And some have said that perhaps there are those outside forces like those rival unions that are doing and are at play in this particular situation as it's ongoing right now in the teachers union, to weaken the teachers union and to gain. Take us through that. Who are these rivals and what do they stand to gain? Actually,
I may not want to mention, but since you have provoked me a bit, you know, we have other unions outside. We have the Kupet brothers, and I don't want to insult anybody here. We have the Kupet who came in 1997 after a strong effective strike by the late Ambrose Adair Dongo. The reason for coming was to weaken Kenya National Union of Teachers. In 2009, as we were on strike, they were given a recognition agreement contrary to the standing regulations, because we still held the recognition agreement. After this strike, we managed to recruit quite a number of teachers to bring them back here. I would have wished that peace prevails in the Kenya National Union of Teachers, so that we continue strengthening this movement.
But are they also representing teachers? With
this type of what is going on, you know, after every election, there are sentiments, people. So we are saying those people outside, including probably the Teachers Affairs Commission, which sees Kenya National Union of Teachers as a vibrant organization. Nobody likes a strong union anyway, and this is a strong union.
So what are they doing? What's their role in this?
We are saying they may, I do not know, because they may be playing, you know, there may be some behind the scenes players who we do not see. But as far as we are concerned, if prayers can heal, then prayers we should need some intervention, so that my brother remains. The moment he makes a decision to remain where he is and pushes through an agenda that I should be supported, and if there is anybody who is coming from outside, you know, who would have wished that my opposition comes from outside the steering committee, and then the entire steering committee galvanizes, or we come together to say we are defending our Secretary General, that is me.
Right.
But what is unusual is for my national chairman to vacate his seat, to come to the seat of Secretary General, where he is not coming to earn even an additional penny. That is the wonder of wonders. I was told there were 7 wonders of the world. This can be an 8th wonder of the world. Because if he was coming here because there was more money, I would say I'm going to earn more. But even when I'm elected today, I will earn less, because he came in 2011, and so his salary will be 3 scales above mine.
All right, saying that there's quite a number of people, as there are for you as well, supporting your bid and his, have you been under pressure to let it go for him, to actually allow for him to take up that position? Are you under pressure?
No. I'm not under pressure. I'm not under pressure, because our arrangement is such that when you vacate your seat, somebody takes it. Like when he intends to vacate, his first vice national chairman is positioning himself to take the post of national chairman, and nobody else can go there and get it freely from him. He has to come and push. So if I vacate this seat to go to another seat, it won't take even 5 minutes. Somebody will already have taken it, and there is somebody there. So I cannot go anywhere. I will either go forward or remain there.
But why, in the interest of the union staying together and as union remaining united, not decide, you know what, I care more about the teachers union and the work that we need to be doing to remove any distractions that currently you are both very much distracted by this. Some and many have said it's taking away from what could be done at work. Why don't you decide to shelve your bid?
Where do I shelve? Where do I go? Because I'm telling you,
express your support for him.
There is no room.
Express your support for the
Then where
chairman.
do I go? If you are to help me. Because if you go to the first vice, if you go to the national chairman, in fact, there are already 2 candidates there.
Okay.
Already they are there. The moment you move, and I'm telling you, the discipline in our union is that when you leave, you vacate your seat, your vice takes it immediately.
Right.
The post of the deputy, the people from Luo Nyanza are already prepared. They have a candidate. The post of Assistant Secretary General, the people from Nairobi already have a candidate. And even the post of national chairman, as he intends, in the event that he moves from to another place, somebody will have already occupied, because in Kenya National Union of Teachers, there is no vacuum. It can't stay even for half a minute.
All right.
So the best I can do, and is to remain where I am and pray for God's grace, that my brother and friend, the national chairman, one time, with God's intervention, he can be touched and say, I'm remaining here. All right,
Bonanzili, we have heard you this morning. Again, there was an invitation for Sophia to be part of this discussion, which she declined. But we've heard you clearly. Your eyes are set on this ball. You're going for it. But I need a quick comment on the laptop projects. Just the other day, we had the government say that the bidders who turned up all bidded way above the budgetary allocations for that particular project. So there's now fear and concerns about whether or not it will actually roll out in January as was set to. In less than a minute, your comment on what's unfolding in that.
We saw it coming and we said the laptop project should not be implemented in a hurry. It needs a lot of preparations. One, the infrastructure arrangement at the classroom level has not been developed. The tendering system, and I said well at Chepkoilel, that the tendering system should be free from corruption. Yeah, it should. It should be. There should be transparency and accountability in the tendering system, and we need credible processes to make sure that it does not fail. But while doing that also, the infrastructure should be looked into, the classrooms should be developed. We ought to have time to develop the infrastructure in the classrooms, and also training, upgrading of the teachers' ICT skills. They cannot be expected to handle an ICT class while themselves are not ICT literate. Okay. So we are simply saying, even the electrification, you know, laptops will need electrifications. The rural electrification program should be hastened to reach to the areas of, because no child should be denied his access to this laptop program. Right. So we are saying, as much we support it, let it also be free from corruption and malpractices. All
right. Thank you very much, Mudzo Nzili, Acting Secretary General, the Kenya National Union of Teachers. We appreciate you making time for us this morning on Morning Express. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sophia.
Karibu sana. Have a great day. Mudzo Nzili this morning talking about the ongoing wrangles in the Kenya National Union of Teachers. And as we shift gears from that, a quick reminder of our question of the day, the ongoing wrangles in the judiciary. We are asking you, have those ongoing wrangles eroded your confidence in the judiciary? I thank you all that have taken time to tweet and SMS. I will sample some of your views in a short while, but of course, keep them coming. 22155 is our SMS number. At Sophia Wanuna at KTN Kenya is where you can tweet us as well.